Where do I clear that? Remove this thing, print.
Just home click mode ಸಾಕು.
Home ಅಲ್ಲ.
ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡು, ಇದ್ರ ಕಾಣುತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಐತಿ.
ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಫೋಟೋ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಫೋಟೋ
After this, sir.
after my criminal.
Up to 10:30. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, Guruji.
And you can see my slide?
Yes.
Okay. Let us start with the prayer. Okay, all together. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Grathitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamrutavarshiniim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambattvamanusandadhami Bhagavad Gite Bhavatveshinim. Arjuna Uvacha Aho Batamahat Papam Kartum Vyavasita Vayam Yadrajya Sukhalobhena Hantum Sadana Buddhyataha Sri Bhagavanu Vacha Apichedasi Papebhyaha Sarvebhya Papakruttamaha Sarvam Jnanapravenaiva Rudinam Santarishyasi Tadvidhi Pranipatena Pariprashtena Sevaya Upadekshanti Te Jnanam Jnaninastattvadarshinaha Najayate Mriyate Va Kadachit Nayam Bhutva Bhavita Anabhuyaha Ajo Nitya Shashvatoyam Puranaha Nahanyate Anyamane Sharire Veda Vinashinam Nityam Yayena Mayamavyayam Katham Sapurusha Partha Kam Ghatayati Hantikam Nainam Chindanti Shatrani Nainam Dahati Pavakaha Nachainam Kledayantyapaha Nashoshayati Marutaha Achedyo Yamadakyoyam Vedyo Shoshayevacha Nitya Sarvagatasthanu Sanatanaha Traigunya Vishaya Vedaha Nistraigunyo Bhavarjuna Nirtvando Nitya Sattvasthaha Niryogakshema Atmavan Prajahati Yada Kaman Sarvan Parthamanogatam Atmanyevatmana Tushtaha Sitaprajnasthadosyate Dhyayato Vishayan Punsaha Sarvasteshu Pajayate Sangat Sanjayate Kamaha Kamat Krodho Bhijayate Krodhat Bhavati Sammoha Sammoha Smriti Vibramaha Kriti Bhramshad Buddhi Najaha बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति रागद्वेषवियुक्तैस्तु विषयानिन्द्रियैश्चरन् आत्मवश्यैर्विधेयात्मा प्रसादमधिगच्छति दुःखेष्वनुद्विग्नमनाः सुखेषु विगतस्पृहः वीतरागभयक्रोधः स्थितधीर्मुनिरुच्यते प्रसादे सर्वदुःखानां हानिरस्योपजायते प्रसन्नचेतसो ह्याशु बुद्धिपर्यवतिष्ठते यः सर्वत्रानभिस्नेहः तत्तत्प्राप्य शुभाशुभम् नाभिनन्दति न द्वेष्टि तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता या निशा सर्वभूतानां तस्यां जागर्ति संयमी तस्यां जाग्रति भूतानि सा निशा पश्यतो मुनेः ओमित्येकाक्षरं ब्रह्मा व्याहरन् मामनुस्मरन् यप्रयाति त्यजन् देहं स याति परमां गतिम्. We saw there are two predominant modes in which the great gnosis leave the body. One is leave the physical body and then go to the subtler and the causal layers. So the physical body is left. Another way in which they diffuse the Annamaya Kosha to Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnananandamaya Kosha. The physical body is vanished in the whole encounter. So these are the two ways by which the great gnosis leave the body. Then we come to understand the importance of sadhana, shraddha, dimension shraddha. Shraddhavan labhate jnanam tatparasayatendriyaha jnanam labdha param shantim achirenadhigacchati. Last class we talked about this shraddha. Shraddha is faith, featured by commitment, prime love. That is the necessity for jnana. So it has the four dimensions, Shraddha. That is respect and reverence. Ultimate reality is the highest, the supreme, and we have highest reverence for that. And to reach that state, to get all that divinity manifested, you must have a commitment. Commitment for the whole life, not 1 or 2 days, not 1 or 2 months. And there should be sincerity. And the faith comes. So this will bring the jnana. Jnana in turn brings total mastery over the senses and leads one to total silence and transcendence. Absolute freedom that comes, is all. So what is respect? We saw dimension. A small story we did, in which the Maya was having that deep desire to become the best painter of the world. So she got a teacher who was very, very famous, but she went on imitating the great painter. She always looked for the recognition by the painter. But the great painter, Jackie, he said, this is the mistake you are doing. You don't try to copy me. You try to bring about the divinity within you, your original thing. That will make you great. So, in this thing, we found that the goal of life is to manifest that divinity within, not to please others, but to develop respect and reverence in divinity. Then commitment, shraddha. Second is commitment, should be there. So, in this thing, we found the Raj story exemplifies the power of dedication and faith on the spiritual journey, reminding us that true enlightenment lies within our commitment to self discovery. We must have total commitment to move higher. Third is the sincerity. So it was a story of Varanasi. Nisha was very much into that. Though the floods were in the whole city was shaken, she did not get shaken. She prayed for strength and resilience. As Varanasi was rebuilt, Nisha became the symbol of unwavering faith. Her sincerity inspired by Jackie to find solace under all circumstances. Dukkeshu anudvignamanaha, sukheshu vigataspraha. She practiced that dimension. And sincerity and faith. So, while sincerity emphasizes the honesty and authenticity, commitment focuses on dedication and perseverance. And respect underscores the importance of valuing one's divinity. You must give the highest value. Now, what we are doing, we are valuing money. Money has the highest value for us in life. But we have to change. Can divinity be the highest value for us? Why? Why do we think that money is the value for us? Because it brings you the comfort, it brings you all that you want, food, shelter, clothing, and also sort of security, everything it gives you. But can it bring health? Can it bring the higher dimensions of growth? Can it bring happiness, greater and greater happiness? This we never think. Therefore, it is said that you have to have the highest value for the ultimate reality. Don't have a small ambition that you want to become a millionaire, a billionaire, a trillionaire. Alexander wanted to be the emperor of the whole world. More and more ambition. But our ancient masters said, these are all trivial. What you want is infinite bliss, infinite knowledge, infinite power, infinite freedom. No. That is divinity that we have to do. So, therefore, when you think of this divinity as infinite power, freedom, knowledge, and freedom, then you give the highest value. Therefore, this knowledge is very necessary for doing these things. All these qualities, the four of them, complement one another, contributing to the development of strong relationships, personal growth, and a harmonious growth is going to come. Therefore, Shraddha works at the physical level, mental level, emotional, intellectual level, leading to true knowledge and the highest level. That's the dimension that comes. And today's topic is the last shloka, 18th verse, which talks about our original state of pure consciousness, from where all of us have come, from where the whole creation has come. Repeat after me. Esha Brahmi Sthiti Partha Nainam Prapya Vimuhyate Itva Syamantakalepi Brahma Nirvana Mrachyate. Esha Brahmi Sthiti. With that Shraddha, you reach that highest state. This is called Brahmi Sthiti. That is the highest state of Brahman. A Partha, Arjuna said, Na enam prapya vimuhyati. Having reached that state, you never get deluded. You never get lost. You are totally in the state of total jnana. You have absolute faith that we are that infinite bliss, knowledge, power, and freedom. That's my original state. You get completely engrossed in that thing. Chitva syam antakalepi. So having stayed in the state of absolute faith, manifesting that more and more in life, antakalepi. If you are able to stay in that state of absolute faith, even at the time of death, then Brahma Nirvanam Ruchati. Then you can reach the highest level of freedom. That's the thing. This is a state of complete mastery. So, you have total attunement to the infinite, to the ultimate. That is to Swami Vivekananda called it the divinity. So, becoming one with the ultimate after the death of the body is called Videha Mukti. So, it's called Brahma Nirvana. Brahma Nirvanam Ruchati. Nirvana is the word that Buddha used. Whereas Brahma Nirvana is the one that is used by Bhagavad Gita. So, moksha is the name given to this ultimate state. Moksha is the word that is given in Vedanta, in Upanishads. Moksha means infinite freedom, all freedom. Again, a small story. In the heart of a dense forest stood the cave of enlightenment, whispered into the harbor to harbor the mystical powers within its depth. Ultimate thing there. So it's a cave in a very dense forest, and the cave, takes you to the highest level. 5 brothers, led by Jackie, dared to embark on this exploration, this transformative journey. They all decided, yes, we want to see what is there in that cave. Most people in the dense forest did not know there is something like that, but when these people were traveling, they found that cave is there. So let us explore. They all determined to explore the cave. Their first step into the cave gifted them with precognition, foreshowing obstacles and opportunities ahead. As they started moving there, their consciousness expanded, moving from their normal consciousness to the higher level. And a lot of difficulties came up, and they crossed, going down into the cave. That whole thing, if they slipped, they would have lost their lives. But they did wonderfully, slowly they went with mutual help, and they came down in the cave. And that expanded their vision. And they got what is called precognition. What is precognition? To know what is going to happen in future. They got that power. They knew this is what is going to happen. These are the obstacles that we are going to get, and we have to overcome that. Also, they got the vision that we want to convert all these difficulties that we are going to get as great opportunities. Don't consider difficulties in life as difficulties to run over that. Each difficulty is an opportunity given to us. Those people who convert difficulties into opportunities become the leaders, became the great personality. So they got this vision. The first realization was difficulties are bound to come. And more difficulties come. More and more difficult days are going to come. But all these things are great opportunity for us to grow further. They understood. So with telepathy, they communicated silently, understanding each other's fears and strength. They started going further, and they were separated into the different things because it was huge. The cave was expanding. And one person went here, one person there. By that time, they had got the telepathy. That is, telepathy is communication at distance. And through the telepathy, they were able to converse each other. Today we have the mobiles, which can do. At that time, it used to be essentially by telepathy. These are the higher powers called extra sensory perception. They were able to communicate each other. And once on this side, this is the fear, this is going to be happening, so we should help. So each of them helped strengthen themselves to go further. Then Further, they went, and more darkness started coming up. And such darkness, you could not see anything further. But they went on continuing their journey, and they unlocked the telekinesis. Huge things were there, and they were able to move them with the mind itself. That is power of mind to deal with the physical object. So telekinesis started coming up. They're moving objects with their minds and bending reality to their will. As they delved deeper, they discovered the essence of anima, shrinking into traverse, narrow passages. Now the whole things were completely full of mountains. They could not go further. They cannot go up because it was too high and too steep. But there were cracks, and they knew how to make themselves very small and sneak through the thing. It's called animo. So that power had come by the time they reached. And then they further went to get the Mahima bestowed upon them, the incredible strength, lifting boulders, lifting rocks, and blocking their path. Then Garima brought lightness to their beings, defying gravity itself. They were able to go up. Finally, at the end of Dev's heart, they achieved Ashtasiddhis, Anima, Mahima, Garima, Prakamya, all the 8 Siddhis, and they were able to fly in air, they were able to pierce through all the things that they have. They got the enlightenment. Each power honed their unity, turning 5 brothers into an indomitable force. So, emerging from the cave, they were no longer mere mortals, but champions of transformation. They have transformed themselves from Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Koshas with all the power. They're ready to bring light to the darkest corners of the world. So the journey, a testament to the boundless potential within, forever yet in the annals of legend. So they came to the world at large, and they were able to spread this great message of divinity. The divinity is no small strength. Divinity has infinite power, infinite knowledge, infinite freedom, everything, present and future. That is the dimension that comes up. Jackie and his friend, that's another story. Jackie and his friend, filled with curiosity, approached a towering wall that had long mystified the inhabitants of their village. Both of them from the village. At the end of the village, there was a huge wall, a very tall wall. Nobody had thought what is there beyond the wall. The wall was almost unclimbable. It was straight up and up, maybe 1,000 feet high. But these 2 young guys, said, yes, we are going to see that we go up the wall and see what is there beyond the wall. And they started little by little, going up and carving small things by which they can go up, supporting both of them together. With determination in their hearts, with a Shraddha that we are going to see something which is beyond. And they went on and on. And after a long time, several months, they tried, and finally they scaled its height. Then they went up the wall and wanted to see what is there on that side. Went up the vast sky and vast mango orchard, stretching as far as the eye could see. Mango orchard, mangoes, full of mangoes, which are full of. So, without hesitation, they leaped into the orchard. The scent of ripe mangoes filling the air, the juicy fruits hung from branches of golden treasures, waiting to be severed. Jackie, overwhelmed by the abundance, descended from the tree and called out to the villagers. He came down and again came up the wall and started doing that. Whereas his other friend, he got lost in enjoying himself. And then he called all the villagers started coming. So how to actually climb up? They did not have that resilience. They did not have that power. So all of them, with Jackie's direction, they started breaking the walls. And breaking the walls, everybody can go there. And all the villagers, hundreds of them, were able to go and enjoy the fruit, join the fruit, discovery of the bonded thing. The word spread like wildfire, and soon the entire population flocked to the orchard, their faces filled with wonder and delight. Laughter and chatter filled the air as they placed and plucked the mango and their hands sticky with the sweet nectar. So in that moment, barriers were broken and bonds were strengthened as the villagers all worked together as one component whole, shared in the joy of exploration and abundance. Jackie's boldness had led them to a new world of possibilities beyond the wall, a world they could now cherish and cultivate together, united in their newfound discovery. So that is the story of Jackie and his friend. Two readers. So what is that mango orchard? What is that beyond all the 5 different dimensions in the caves they explored? That is called Nirvana by Patanjali, by Buddha. It's called Kaivalya by Patanjali. It's called Moksha in Vedanta. So this is complete merger. It's infinite. It is beyond space, time, causation. It's infinite knowledge. The person hearing that will know whatever has happened in the past, what is happening now, what is happening in the future. Trikala Gnana, it's called. Therefore, they have the precognition and communication skill. Ashtasiddhis will all come here. Infinite knowledge, knowledge of the whole creation, knowledge of entire thing is gone. Then they have the highest happiness, bliss. Bliss, infinite bliss, highest happiness. And it is state infinite strength, infinite power, infinite capacity to do anything, to create the whole world or to destroy the whole world. So that is the infinite power and absolute freedom. Freedom from all bondages, freedom from all our tensions, stresses to begin with. Freedom from all diseases. Then freedom from the mind, bondage of the mind. What is the bondage of the mind? Since you get up in the morning, you go on thinking and thinking and thinking. Ask the mind to keep quiet, it doesn't. That's the bondage of the mind. Bondage of the emotions. What is the bondage? We are tossed up and down, in good and bad, and they are engrossed and enslaved by the emotions. We lose our power of discrimination. That is the bondage of the emotions. And the bondage of the intellect. What is the bondage of the intellect? We have very small knowledge and wrong knowledge, perverted knowledge, all these things, So that is the bondage of the intellect. So all these bondages you are able to overcome. And at the physical level, you are absolutely 100% healthy. You are free from all tensions and stresses. All the time you are in the state of blissful awareness. That is the thing that happens in the beginning. Then, next level, you ask the mind to stay in silence. You are able to stay in silence for any length of time. One day, 5 days, 10 days, 1 month, 2 months. You got that freedom to stay in that silence continuously. Then at the emotional level, samatvam yoga uchyate. Yoga brings equanimity. Under all circumstances, you are able to maintain that equanimity. Dukkeshu anudvignamanaha, sukheshu vigataspruha. You see, that balance start coming up, balance continuously. And at the intellectual level, you start expanding your knowledge, one by one, one by one. And Patanjali gives the whole of the Vibhuti Pada as to how we can get all the bliss and the power. You're expanding. You're expanding in silence and reaching higher and higher level of bliss and power. So these are all the things that happen. Finally, you get complete freedom over the bondage of this body. What is the bondage of the body? You have to feed, fluids, food, everything we have to eat, otherwise we can't survive. And we have limited shape, maybe a little more, a little less it can become. Then the limitation of the body is bound by the gravitation. Can you overcome all these things? Yes, say. That is the whole dimension. The people, when they go into the pranamaya kosha itself, they don't need this physical food. They stay without food. They are great sadhaks, great personality. They don't take food at all. They live. Where Swami Prajnaraniji, who was here as our Rajayoga Peetham, is also a great master. You should take 1 glass of milk per day. 40 years. But when you don't take, what is not going to happen? Whether you can stay. You're so strong, He was able to go around this campus with such speed, I could not follow him. 35 years he lived like this. That is getting into the higher thing, overcoming the food dimension. Then making the body very small, called anima. Very small like this. And making the body very big, like a mountain, mahima. Making the body very, very light, laghima. So you can just go up, you can fly and go anywhere. And garima, very, very, very heavy. Nobody can touch. Hanuman had all these powers. But what did he use all these things? For the good of the society, to establish dharma in the society. But when you get some of these powers, you get lost in your ahankara. Got thing into the ego. Ego starts coming up. Oh, I have so much of power. Then you become a rakshasa. So you cut others, beat others, terrorize others. You want to rule over others. So one has to be very, very cautious as you go. Therefore, Patanjali again and again tells that when you get these different powers, you should have that humility, that calmness, that peace, and to use all this power for bringing good to the society. But people get lost. The rajas is going to pull them, and the sattva is going to go receding. Therefore, we have to keep that sattva dimension of humility, vinamrata, vidya vinaya sampanne, brahmane gavihastini, shunichaiva shapake, panditaha samadarshinaha. This is. We have to be very, very, very careful about the ego. So ego comes in various ways it can come. When you have the money, when you have the power, when you have got certain capacities, you get into that ego shoot. And that will deteriorate you. That will make you a rakshasa. That will make you a daman with all the negativity. So can you develop that humility at the dimension? So only when you have this thing, then you'll be able to go to the highest level. Otherwise, you get lost, you get stagnated in your thing dimension. So in the ultimate reality, pure consciousness, it is called Nirupadhika Brahma. That means the mind is in complete silence. And it has no upadhi. It is pure consciousness. It is beyond space, time, causation. It does not change at all. That's our original state. Just like in the physical world, we have understood energy is the base of this entire physical world. Whatever we see in the physical world is all made out of energy, energy, energy. So when a candle is burnt, nothing is lost, we say. What does that mean? Energy which was there earlier remains the same. That is in the form of bhasma, it will be there. And you can calculate how much of energy is there. So in the same way, consciousness, which is infinite, is always there. It has no beginning, it has no end. It has been there, it is there, it will be there in future. And it's infinite or pervasive. That's called as Nirupadhika Brahma. Brahman, ultimate reality, without any attributes. From there comes the Sopadhika Brahma. That's a consciousness with attributes. And this is this entire creation. Panchakoshas. Anandamaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Annamaya Kosha. So we all have these 5 bodies. But our original state is infinite. That is common to all of us. It's called Parama Atma. Self of all of us is that pure consciousness. From there we have come Jivatma, individual self. So ultimate self and individual self. Sopadhika Brahma, consciousness with attributes. So in Panchakosha, everything has got the upadhis. It has got the attributes. It has got the qualities. They are bound by space, time, causation. Therefore, Nirupadhika Brahma, Sopadhika Brahma. What is the relation between the two? From Nirupadhika Brahma, Sopadhika Brahma comes. It is from that pure consciousness this entire creation has come. That also is full, this also is full. Don't think this is less full or that's more full. Infinite. Purnamadaha, Purnamidam. Both are full. Both Nirupadhika Brahma and Sopadhika Brahma are full. That's infinite. So what is the relation? Purnat Purnam Budachyate. This entire creation has come. When this comes out of that, what happens to that? Will it become zero? X minus X is zero. You have 10 rupees in your pocket, you take out and give it. Your pocket becomes empty. So will it become a zero? No. X minus X zero is the law of the finite world. Infinity minus infinity can be infinity. Purnasya Purnam Adaya. Purnam eva avasishyate. That Purna remains untouched. Because from the Nirupadhika Brahma, the Sopadhika Brahma has come. And when this comes out of that, Nirupadhika Brahma never gets changed. It is remaining same. So that's the relation between the Nirupadhika and Sopadhika Brahma. So here is a complete sketch as to how we proceed in Jnana Yoga. The first step is Shravana. Shravana is formation of the hypothesis. In scientific terms, you say, any research you are going to take, what is your hypothesis? What you want to test? So that's called Shravana. So the Shravana is hearing. You hear a talk from me. You say that Upanishad tell us that we are not this physical body. We have got totally 5 bodies. And how do we know it is so? We start thinking about it. How is it possible? I don't see any other body. Apart this physical body, I don't see anything else. How can I believe? So explorations start coming up. Today technology has grown. Now we got biowell. In biowell, you can take a photograph of your pranamaya kosha. You know, hardly few minutes, just like a camera. Today, even your mobile, you can take the photos. You can think. And better photos you can get. Deeper and deeper photos you can get. And we have the cameras which can pierce through your physical body, X-ray. X-ray film we can show, it can take the bones inside. And we have such equipment to find out what is happening in the whole body completely. Even we can see what is happening in every gene. Every cell, you can see what is happening. You can see in the cell how the activities are going on. Everything can be photographed. Therefore, we believe we have got this physical body. You can see what is happening. But now, the biowell can take the complete picture of the pranamaya kosha, slightly bigger than the physical body. And it can show you how every part is an imbalance, chronic imbalance. Just like in our physical body, we know that the different organs and systems are in imbalance. How much of imbalance? What is the sugar level? You can find out by measuring the sugar. You can find out what is the blood pressure, how much is the blood pressure, how the heart is working properly or not. Similarly, in the biowell, you can find out what are the imbalances, what are the balances of every organ and system in the body. So, imbalance in the pranamaya kosha show up as imbalances in the physical body. Distortions in the pranamaya kosha brings about the distortions in the physical body. So today, we have a nice way by which you can find out pranamaya kosha. So this is the speciality. So we have got our lab here called Prananveshana lab. If you want to see everything about the body related to your sleep, you can go to our Anveshana lab. We have set up all the things you can measure there. Here, you can measure your pranamaya kosha. Then, you have equipment to measure the entire mind field, how the mind is existing, called REG, Random Event Generator. Now, continuously, the REG is operating and finding out what is happening to the mind field here, Manomaya kosha. How in the biowell, the principle is called Kirlian photography. Whereas in the REG, it is the measurement of the psychokinetic, synokinesis, how the mind can move the physical object. Sitting here, can I move a book there? If I do that, that's called psychokinesis. So using that principle, the Princeton University developed an equipment called Random Event Generator way back in 1960s. So they go on finding out what is happening to the mind field all over the world. But there are big changes that is happening at the global level. There is going to be a big change that occurs in the whole mind field of the whole world. When the millennium was changing from 20th century to 21st century, then there's a big change that occurred. It can be monitored statistically. And you must know how much is the change that occurs. Similarly, we are using this to measure what is happening to our yagnas, pujas, havans, homas, different things. That's the research that we are doing to measure what is happening in the Manomaya kosha. So like that, today we have got the equipment to measure, to photograph the different koshas. So this all starts happening when you do the experimentation. From Shavana, come to the Manana, then Nididhyasana. Nididhyasana is experimentation, doing the experiment. You go to our lab and see whether they are not. Initially it looks, hey, how is it possible? There cannot be anything beyond this thing. But when you go there and see the pranamaya kosha, this is God, began thing. So then you took the photograph of a dead body. or a stone. You take the bioworld data. It's same, no change. A dead leaf and a living leaf, you know. In the dead leaf, the pranamaya kosha will not come. In the living leaf, you can find out. Therefore, it is the pranamaya kosha. So like that, experiments have been done. Over the last, from 1960s, the Kenyan photography started coming out, developed into today what's called biowell. So this is how you do the experiment again and again for lengths of time called nididhyasana, experimentation. And finally, you say, yes, pranamaya kosha exists. It is possible to see. It is possible to photograph. It is possible to find out how much changes occur in every part of the pranamaya kosha. Prana, apana, samana, udana, vyana, everything you can measure. You can do that thing. This is called jnana. The jnana comes up. So this is the whole process. In modern times, this is what you do. You do the hypothesis, design an experiment, conduct the experiment, repeated experimentation, finally come to the conclusion. This methodology was used in our ancient things as Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, Jnana. So nothing was accepted as it is. If somebody comes and says that we have got pranamaya kosha, nobody believed. What is the proof? So they have to show the proof. So this is the process. So the modern scientific methodology was nothing new. Our ancient masters had unraveled this methodology long ago. Therefore, Upanishadic methodology and modern scientific methodology are very much same. And the Gnana, now we understood about the physical world. Everything is nothing but energy. But we have to go beyond. So once you get the Gnana, you have to stabilize that. This is where yoga comes into picture. This is where the Upanishads differ from the modern science. A scientist may understand that this calmness of the mind is the one that brings happiness, that's the happiness. But he may not have experience. Here, in Yoga Shastra, you must have Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. Not only you must know, unravel by experiment, you must adopt that and see that you transform yourself. To say that you have got more and more power, to know that you have got the psychokinetic power, you should be able to show that. Then you become this thing. That is the Jivan Mukti. When you say the mind becomes calm, can you stay in that silence for longer and longer time? How long? 1 week, 1 month, 10 months, any number of time. If you do that, then it becomes Jivan Mukti, called Sthita Prajna. The Prajna gets stabilized. Then comes the higher stages. You go to the deeper levels, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha, Anandamaya Kosha, in which more and more powers start coming up. And happiness increases 100-folds. When you come to Pranamaya Kosha, your happiness increases 100 times more, 10,000 times more, and 1 million times more. Then from Pranamaya Kosha to Manomaya Kosha. From 10 to the power of 6, it goes up to 10 to the power of 12. Then Vijnanamaya Kosha, from 10 to the power of 13, goes up to 10 to the power of 16. Then Anandamaya Kosha, it is to 10 to the power of 20. That is the happiness measures have been done. How can you measure happiness? Is the question that comes. The Upanishads tell the way. You have to define what is 1 unit of happiness. If I want to measure the length of this table, what do? You must define what is 1 foot or what is 1 centimeter. And then you can know, oh, this is now, about 4 feet, you can know. Similarly, to measure anything, you must have a unit. So, our ancient masters defined what is 1 unit of Ananda. Based on that, they measured. युवा स्यात् साधु युवाध्यायकः आशिष्टो दरिष्टो बलिष्ठः तस्य इयं पृथिवी सर्वा वित्तस्य पूर्णा स्यात् स योको मानुषानन्दः. Define what is one unit of Manushya's Ananda. You know, how do you define? Think of a very young person. You are full of energy. You are Dhyayaka. He is a worshipper of youthful energy. Ashishtaha, a lot of desire to enjoy the world, all types of all types of enjoyment, all types of sense pleasure. Ashishtaha. And to enjoy this thing, he is very strong, Dradishtaha. And he has got complete steadfastness. He is not a fickle mind person. Okay, now this thing will get no. He wants to enjoy fully. And we had one of our friends, and he was like this, Dradishtaha, Balishtaha, strong. And he liked gulab jamun. And he went on eating. And was wonderstruck. What is his capacity? 46 gulab jamuns. Dradishtaha, Balishtaha. This is Iyam Prithvi Sarvavitasya Pranasta. That you may have the desire, you have the length, but if you are not having the means for that, then how? So you are the great emperor with all the richness, wealth, everything available. So then imagine how much happiness he can get. Young person, full of energy, vitality, steadfastness, and the strength that he has, and the money for everything he has. How much of happiness he can take. That's called 1 unit of Manushya's Ananda. From there it goes. 100 times that is the next level. 100 times that is Pitruloka Ananda. From there you go into the next level. Gandharva Loka, Yaksha Loka, then Devaloka, Brahaspati Loka, Brahma Loka, like this. It goes on and on. 10 to the power of 20 times in the Brahma Loka. So this is how they were extremely scientific, our ancient masters, to measure everything. So they will know which level you are, whether you are in the Annamaya Kosha level, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya Kosha. So this is the dimension. So then you have in these things higher level siddhis. Various siddhis start coming up. At every Kosha level you have got different siddhis, and ultimately infinite. So this is the whole story of this thing. So the pure consciousness, it comes down and becomes this world. It gets condensed. The process of combining physical world comes. Then Mandukya Upanishad gives another model. Jagra, Swapna, Sushupti are the 3 levels of consciousness. You go beyond that to various levels of samadhi and reach ultimate called Turiya. So this is the wonderful thing that we have seen, and we'll repeat that now. Om Tat Saditi Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Jnana Yoga Shloka Sangraha Harihi Om Tat Sat. So, this knowledge has been given to us by Sri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. And these shlokas, the 18 shlokas, have been selected from different chapters in Bhagavad Gita. 18 chapters are there. He pulled out the entire knowledge base contained in this thing in 18 verses, put them systematically, like a thesis, starting with introduction, hypothesis, and the experimentation, like the way it has been put, and gives the ultimate thing, like this it has put. So with that, we close the session and we will now have the floor open to any questions. Some people would have gone into chat box. Let us see. Namaskar from Singapore, Sujata. Welcome. Nagrata. It is said that realization happens once and there is nothing more after you have realized through manana and nididhyasana. But you are saying there are many levels. Yes. Realization depend. How do you define realization? You know, realization. Some people think, okay, when you get a first glimpse, it is realization. You get samadhi. That is the expansion Raj Yoga. In Bhakti Yoga, you have the sakshatkar of the God that you have been doing. So this is expansion of mind from one level or normal level to the next level. This is something like a quantum jump. Many people thought that samadhi is the end, but Patanjali is very clear. There are 8 types of samadhis there. Similarly, in the Upanishads, realization of jnana in the beginning happens. Then that has to be stabilized, Sita Prajna. Probably you may have a glimpse of jnana, but it's not stabilized. You got a glimpse at a wonderfully all-pervasive, expansive thing. You get a glimpse. That is the realization. Then it has to be stabilized. No? So the stabilization is Gnana Sthiti. That is Sita Prajna. The Prajna has to be stabilized. And then you go to the higher and higher levels as are being postulated. Therefore, the true understanding is that realization is the first jump from our normal consciousness to the next level of consciousness. But if you define realization as the ultimate reality, then realization, there is no coming back at the end. But whether anybody will go to ultimate reality in the beginning itself, it is possible that if a person had traveled the whole journey in the previous lives, it has gone already almost up to the ultimate reality, Vijnanamaya Kosha, Anandamaya Kosha. Then when he comes here, he is already having that capacity of Anandamaya Kosha, and he just sits there, the mind stays in silence. And is merged with the totality. That is happening. But largest number of people, all of us, 99.9999% people, we all have to undergo this process from Annamaya to Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanandamaya Kosha. Guruprit. Or Nirupadika Brahma and the Isha, Upanishad previously learned with your thing, essentially synonymous, both portraying the ultimate consciousness, albeit with different terms. Additionally, does the individual predominantly exist within the realm of Sopadika Brahma? Before. Yes, correct. The Isha is a term that is used. Different names have been given. Atman, Paramatman, Nirvana, then Kaivalya, pure consciousness, absolute reality. Those are all the different terms that are used. That is synonyms, the whole thing. So you are right that what we talked about Ishavasya Upanishad, the Isha is same as this thing, as the ultimate reality for this thing. And the second thing, within the realm of Sopadika Brahma. Yes, we are all in the region of Sopadika Brahma. We are all in the process of creation. Rakshasas also have siddhis, but their ego has not dissolved. It is said that without erasing ego, siddhis cannot come. There are two ways by which people can get siddhis. One is the process of expansion by the dhyana process and going deeper and deeper. Another is through focusing. When they go on doing the focusing, also they can get the different siddhis. Rakshasas get it through the focusing, and the great gnonis and others get it through the process of expansion. Expansion and focusing. The people who are really developed devatas and others, they focus and defocus, focus and defocus. Whereas Rakshasas go on focusing, dimension. You know. Which level of samadhi is the ultimate moksha, kaivalya? You know. So, eight types of samadhi culminate in what is called kaivalya according to Patanjali. Kaivalya is equivalent to moksha. That's called Nirupadika Brahma. It's also often called as Brahma Nirvana. This other dimension. So, thank you all very much for your nice interactions. We'll close today's session with Shanti Mantra. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukkhabhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Namaste Guruji, thank you.